Okay, I got the notification to say we're live. So we will start. Welcome to today's match between Switzerland and Denmark, with Switzerland as the home team and Denmark as the visiting team, which means we'll start with Denmark. And the first stacker is William Camper. Okay, you can have 2 warm-ups, William. Yep, and first attempt. That was clean. 1.973. On second attempt. Thank you. That was also clean. 2.254. And third attempt. Yep, when you're ready. It's a scratch, unfortunately. And then we move to Marcus from Team Denmark. I think he's under the name Morten Palner, if that helps, Tom. There we go. Okay, Marcus, you can have 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. It's clean, 2.219. And second attempt. That was a scratch, unfortunately. And third attempt. It's clean, 2.107. Okay, and then Leonora, you're up next. You can have 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. Clean, 2.524. And second attempt. It's also clean, 2.421. And third attempt. It's still clean with the 433.4. Yeah, and then we have Alexander. It's the last one for Denmark.
Sorry, we didn't have video on. It's here.
Okay, there we go. Okay, you can have 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. It's clean, 4.018. And second attempt. It's 339.5. And third attempt. It's clean, 1.837. Okay, and then we move to the home team, which is Switzerland, starting with Silas. You can have 2 warm-ups. And I just show that the timer's on 0. Yep, and first try. It's a scratch, unfortunately. And yep, second attempt. That's clean. 2.457. And then third attempt when you're ready. Yep, Go for it. It's a scratch, unfortunately. Then we go to Saskia. Okay, you can have 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. It was a scratch, unfortunately. And second attempt. It's clean, 544. And third attempt. So 2, 15, 5. Yes. And then we go to Melanie. You can have 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. It's clearly 2.226. And second attempt. Clean 1.988. And third attempt. It's 1.920. And finally for 333 we have Serena. You can have 2 warm-ups. And first attempt when you're ready. Yep. Clean 2.014. And second attempt. Still clean, 3.44.7. And third attempt. That's scratch, unfortunately. Okay, then we move back to Team Denmark for doubles, starting with Marcus and Leonora. So whoever's going first, I have it written down as Marcus, but Leonora, if you want to go first, that's okay with me. Can do 2 warm-ups.
Is it Marcus' turn now? Sorry.
Yeah, Marcus first and then Leonora. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, Marcus, you can do 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. I'm gonna call it clean because the rule with the 110 is so ambiguous. Okay, Leonora, you can do 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. It's clean, 13.211. And then Marcus, you can do your second attempt. .374. And then Leonora, you can do your second attempt. Unfortunately, I think that was a scratch because the one cup was not involved at all in the down stack of the 110 one there. So we'll go for the third attempt. Marcus, you can go first. It's 11.155. And then Leonora, do your final attempt. It's clean, 9.653. Okay, and then we go for William and Alexander for the doubles. Okay, William, you can do 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt when you're ready. That was clean. 6.251. And then Alexander, you can do 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. $6.415. Okay. And then we go back to William for your second attempt. That's clean. 6.090. And then Alexander. Okay, it's a scratch. And then we go back to William for the third attempt. Yep, when you're ready. It's clean. 6.031. And then Alexander. Still clean. Oh, okay. We then go back to Switzerland, starting with Saskia and Melanie. Saskia, you can have 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. $7.703. And then Melanie, you can do 2 warm-ups. First attempt. Clean 7.443. Okay, and then 1 second. Typed something in wrong. Then we go back to Saskia for your second attempt. (19.513). And then Melanie, your second attempt. (8.223). And then back to Saskia for your third try. It's clean, 8.388. And then Melanie. (7.386). Go. And then we go to Sarina and Simea as the last doubles pair. Okay, Sarina, you can do 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. That was 8.926. And then Simea, you can do 2 warm-ups. First attempt. It's clean, 7.507. And then Sarina, you can do your second attempt. (6.941). And then Simea. Clean, 12.930. And then Sarina, third attempt. (8.403). And Simea, third attempt. (8.281). Okay, and then we move to the cycle. Oh, sorry, the 363, starting with William Kemper. You can do 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. Yeah, when you're ready. That was clean. That was 2.250. And second attempt. Yep. Still clean. So 8.743 and third attempt. Yep. $6.179. Okay, then we go to Albert. You can have 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. $2.865 and second attempt. So clean 5.654 and third attempt. Okay, and then we go to VLEDs. Yeah, you can do 2 warm-ups. Yep, that's good. And first try. It's 5.411. Second try when you're ready. $6.588. And then third try when you're ready. $4.09. And then finally for Denmark, we have Alexander. You can do 2 warm-ups. First attempt. It's clean 2.185. And second attempt. And third attempt. It's 7. Okay, then we move to Switzerland, starting with Saskia. Can do 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. It's clean 3.681. And second attempt. It's 2.698. And third attempt. It's a scratch, unfortunately. And then we go to Melanie. You can do 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. That's 3.533. And second attempt. $2.571. And third attempt. That's 6.488. Okay, then we go to Serena. You can do 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. So 2.622. And second attempt. So 2.881. And third attempt. So 5.305. And then we have Simea. Can have 2 warm-ups. Okay, and first attempt. It's clean, 2.670. And second attempt. So, 5.199. And third attempt. So 5.186. Then we're going to go to Denmark for the relay. Can someone from Denmark just confirm what the order will be? Or maybe Tom already knows.
Yeah, Tom has it.
Okay. So just as a reminder, there's no warm-ups for relay. So yeah, William, you can take your first try. That was clean. 2.526. Then Tobias. $6.134. Then Albert. 3.148. And Alexander. Was 2.290. Okay, then we go for attempt 2, starting with William. Yep, when you're ready. That's cleaned. 2.416. And Tobias. $3.373. And Albert. 2.982. And Alexander. 2.309. Okay, and then third attempt, starting with William. When you're ready. That was cleaned. 2.290. And Tobias. 3.112. And Albert. 3.985. And Alexander. So that's 7.229. Okay, and then so the best time was 11.080 on the second attempt. Then we go for Switzerland. Yep, their orders in the chat. Saskia, Sarina, Melanie, Simea. Okay, so we can start with Saskia. That was a scratch, unfortunately. Would the rest of the team still like to do their try? Yes, Serena, go ahead. Okay. Melanie, you can go if you want. And Simea, you can go if you want. Good. Then we go for a second try with Saskia. 2.933. And Serena. 4.749. And Melanie. 2.487. And Simea. 4.239. And then we go for the third attempt for Saskia. That was a scratch again, unfortunately. Would the others like to do their third attempt? No. Okay. Then we move to cycle. For Denmark, starting with William. You can do 2 warm-ups. Thank you. First attempt when you're ready. It's clean. 9.610. And second attempt. Thank you. Still clean. That was 11.986. And third try. It's clean. Was 6.739. Then we go to VLADs. Can do 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. It's clean. 8.448. And second attempt. I think that's technically a scratch because you should have downstacked the 6 in the 363 before fixing the 3, but it was slower anyway. And third attempt. $11.324. Then we go to Marcus. Okay, 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. 7.193. Nice one. And second attempt. Just 15.808. And third try. That was a scratch there. And then finally we have Alexander for Denmark. You can do 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. .771. Then second try. .212. And then third attempt. Okay, that one was a scratch. Okay, then we move to Switzerland, starting with Saskia. You can have 2 warm-ups. Okay, first attempt. It's 8.266. And second attempt. It's 7.211. And third attempt. I mean, it was clean, 26.503. And then we go to Melanie. You can do 2 warm-ups. Okay, first try. .804. And then second try. Was 8.013. And then third attempt. Was 12.0. Right, then we go to Serena. You can have 2 warm-ups. First attempt. $6.935. And then second attempt. It's 14.422. And third attempt. $6.725. And then finally for cycle we have Sumaya. You can do 2 warm-ups. And first attempt. It's 13.747. Then second attempt. $7.213. And then third attempt. .676. Okay, then we go to head-to-head cycle relay, starting with Denmark for their first run. Great. So, William, you can do your first attempt when you're ready. Just show the timer. Thank you. It's clean. 7.101. And then Tobias. $7.979. And Albert. $7.976. And finally, Alexander. $6.871. Then we go to Switzerland. Okay, so Saskia, you can do your go. It's 15.034. And then Serena. It's 8.224. Then Melanie. It's 9.872. And then Samaya. It's 0.035. Okay, then we move back to Denmark for their second attempt. So Denmark won the first race there, so they're 1-0 up. Okay, so William, just show your timer and then you can do your second attempt. Yep. $6.310, and then Tobias. $7.892. Albert. $9.515, and then Alexander. I'm gonna say that, Tom, do you think that was clean? The cup spinning at the side when the one cup flew out?
I would not call that clean.
Okay, we'll give that
That's
a
a clean.
scratch.
Might be, yeah. It's scratch, right?
Yeah, we'll give it a scratch. So then we go to Switzerland. Yep, where you need to beat a scratch this round. Yep, so Saskia, you can do your attempt. $8.247. Then Serena. $11.647. Then Melanie. $9.341. And Samaya. $8.711. So now it's 1 point each to Switzerland and Denmark in the head-to-head relay. So we go to Denmark for their third and hopefully deciding race. Okay, show the timer there, William, and then, yep, go ahead. Yep, that was clean. 6.946. Then Tobias. 9.838. Then Albert. It's 9.16. Sorry, 9.305. And then Alexander. Point 946. Okay, then we go to see if Switzerland can beat 32.035. So we start with Saskia. Do your attempts. It's 8.447. And then Serena. So 7.598. And then Melanie. .696. And then Simea. .6.8. That was a combined time of 34 seconds, which means Denmark wins that round of head-to-head relay, and that concludes the match with a final score of 75 points to Denmark and 47 points to Switzerland, meaning Denmark are the winner of this match. So congratulations, Denmark, and thank you to everyone for taking part.
Thank you. Very close.
Congrats, Denmark. Thanks, Laura and Tom, for
Thank you
judging.
so much.
Yeah, thank you for judging, coming
Thank
in
you, Christian.
at the
No
last
problem.
minute. That was very nice. Godt gået, Danmark. Det var sgu flot hele vejen.